Okay, so I finally got all the connectors. I got the AC compressor off. Oh, I still got one more there, and then one down there I can't get to. Just can't get off. I just took out this one bolt here that holds this harness on. One bolt that holds the steel bracket that holds all this mess. By taking that bolt out, I can now see the starter connections. So now we got a little 8mm bolt. And maybe a 12 on the other one. So, I think I've got a little baby ratchet here. I think it's 38. Oh, usually it's a squeeze connector type. I don't see one of those. Typical Nissan. So, here's the key wire. 8mm, got that off. Okay. Put that back on. Now the 12. So do I have a 12 handy? Actually, I do. Be from the starter. Will it reach? Probably not. Oh, come on, rubber boot, get out of my way. Expose yourself. Oh. 12, just like every other Nissan I've had. I think I'm automated, something weird. Okay. So now all the starter wiring is off. So now I can take the starter off. So I got 2 more wires to go. And I should be done nicer. Just push the button. Oh, pain in the butt. Whoever thought these plastic squeeze connectors was a good idea. Oh, got that one. There's one wire left with that. All but one wire. Can't get that damn wire down there, whatever that sensor is. Come on. Okay, this was interesting. 18mm for the starter bolts, and probably the training bolts too. And I think somebody's been in here before. Those are tight. This top starter bolt was pretty tight. This bottom one, not so much. It was like almost finger tight. So, well, that just means somebody's either taking the tranny out or the starter out. You have to take the starter out, take out the tranny to get to the bolt. So maybe this tranny has been replaced. Who knows? Who knows? I bought it. It was 2014. I bought it 2018, 4 years ago. So, oh well. Here's the starter. It's a goofy little shape. It's original. So now I try to get to those torque converter bolts. It's a pin. Oh, it's a bolt down there. So I can't get that one stupid connector off. It's killing me. This hose needs to come off as well. I'll take the alternator off before I get to that. Before I take the alternator off, I'll take off all this front stuff. I just got off the connector on the front of the engine over here. Whatever that sensor is. Oh, I think there's another one down below. I'm gonna have to take out the wheel. But I just pushed those little reusable zip ties. Push that button with a screwdriver. Got those 2 wires out, got that connector off. I think I've got a new Milwaukee impact gun coming tomorrow, so I'm not going to bother taking these off the old way. I think I took all these off a while ago when I changed the belt 4 years ago. Can't remember. I just know about that tensioner, I couldn't change it. But the new one's got a new engine, so all this junk's got to come off. But I think the next step is pop off the wheel. bought like a 100 pack of these clips on Amazon for like $5, $10. So I'm not worried about any of them break. Okay, got the one screw and all the clips, fender wells out, wheels off. Now I can actually see the front of the engine. So nicely clean. I just got to get off, obviously I can turn the bolt to get the torque bolts out now, torque converter. Let me get this belt off. I think I may get through low to the exhaust. I think it's pretty easy to get to the tensioner, but can't remember. Yeah, I think I just stick a wrench up there and crank it, take the belt off. And I was thinking on taking this bracket off. It's just a bolt here and a bolt there. And then, cause I gotta squeeze all these connectors to get the wires off. There's one here. I think it may be easier just to take the bracket off, then take all the wires out of it. Just so much stuff bolted to that bracket, all these hoses. Well, this is the gas tank vent. So that's obviously going to the gas tanks. This needs to come off somewhere. I guess I'll take that off back there. Oh, that's off. Okay, gas tank's off. The only thing left is a few more wires and connectors. There's a clamp back here. There's a bolt somewhere on this bracket. And if I could get that bolt, that stupid thing's in the way. Oh, there's a bolt on that. Hey, it's like a 10. Okay, hold on. I got an idea. I don't know why am I using an 8 when I think it's a 10. Take off that valve and I can take off the bolt below it. I don't think I'm going to take out this hood latch. I keep leaning on this hood latch. It keeps poking me and it's getting old. Okay, just took a, oh shoot, I dropped another bolt. Oh, that's the gas valve thingy jiggy. I'll turn one of those connectors, one of those reusable zip ties. Methinks, I think. Where's the button? Is that the button? Uh-oh, I don't see the button. Oh, it's just a big bracket. Forget it, I'm just taking off that bolt. And that bolt. Be done with it. Jeez. How much battery got left? Oh, still full battery. The batteries last like forever. It's amazing. Okay. Here's the other day to put together a playground. Used it for hours. Oh, I almost break the battery off every time. Aha! Well, that madness falls off. Put the bolts back in. I don't have any bolts at all, not in something. Okay, look at that. Oh, I got one connector way down there. All this wiring. It's only got one thing left over here. Got that unplugged. I just can't bolt back here somewhere. Oh, it's a clip. Ah, found the bolt right there. I can feel it with my hand. So if I take off that bracket, it was like a 12. I could take out that big chunk of steel. Am I right or am I wrong? Bracket back here, can't even see. Big chunk of steel, where was it? There it is. feel you. I'm not getting all on my hands. Man, it's bigger than 12. That's not gas, it's water. Good. It must be a 14. That's a big bowl for the sake of dropping stuff. 14mm bolt just to hold the bracket. Maybe I shouldn't take this thing off. Oh, it's a 14. Oh, I can't get this. Oh. Alright, this reminds me of the Quest. That one bolt on the back of the engine. So, I think... Oh, man. I don't know if I should bother taking... I got a bigger tool. 3/8 drive. Can I even feel it? I think I got it. Back to the 1/4 inch. Why is this bolt so big? I did get it. I don't know what I'm taking off, but I guess it doesn't matter. Just want to get this big bracket off and it's moving. Okay. There's one big bolt. Doing wire management. What does this bolt do? There it is. 14mm head. It's like it's an 8mm bolt, right? Now that all the wiring is free, see, instead of taking off 2 zip ties, so all I gotta do, I'm gonna put that back in somewhere in the back of the head, or I forget. Now I've just got to do there's one connector down here somewhere. I can see it. Oh wow, I see it right there. Oh boy, there's actually a hole in this fender well. Alright, so I just went and installed the my new brace. Just trying to take out these bolts, and the engine wanted to fall at the bottom. So now it doesn't. I think I got all the bolts out. So now the engine is okay, she's off. Okay, so this new thing, I got a chain bolt down there and a bolt up to the head over there. Right there and down there. So now that's the only thing holding the engine and tranny in, because I'm taking out the front. So now I just got to take out this big bolt. Of course, that's the way light. That's a different size. That's what I ordered in Milwaukee. Just for everything, it's just too big. It's a different size too, as I can see. So it's 16, like the seat bolts, the motor mount. Those aren't 16, probably 18. It seems to be a new popular size. 18 and 18. So I should have taken out that bolt before I put the thing on. I'd get it with an extension. Okay, so too bad I can't get that one out. So let's put that down for a minute. All the way to sit on the fenders. First time I've ever used one of these, by the way. Always wanted to buy one. I was working on my buddy's car, helping him change a engine cross, what do you call it, K-member on a Ford Taurus, and we needed to swap out the subframe, and so I bought this for the job, but didn't end up using it. Okay, so all these bolts are different sizes. Those are all the same except for the long ones. That's idiot proof. I can't mess that up. And I said I think I've taken this off before. I might change that belt. Need things. I need a wrench on that. Okay. GoPro already died. Just put in a brand new compact flash. And all I got off was the inner fender well. Hopefully that video worked. I guess I can turn this light off now. I'm done in there for now. I think the next step is get underneath to get the exhaust off. Get the torque converter bolts off, training bolts off. And one other connector off. Oh man. Get all this junk out of here. Another bolt, different length. Gotta mix that up. No, it's still good. I got a new one on the new engine too. Oh, that bolt's in there. I gotta take out all those bolts now. I got it. Got the front motor mount out. Man, when you get that pig out, you can see the engine finally. Where's the light? Okay, oh, there's another. Yeah, there's the sensor. I gotta unplug. This one's actually smashed on the new engine. Because the Sentra I bought it from is totaled. Smashed front and back. So I gotta take out that zip tie down there and then that electrical connector. Oh, this is so much. Jeez, yeah. Oh, that was easy. Now I just need a screwdriver. Take that zip tie, and I don't see anything else on the front. Isn't that crazy? I think I can raise this thing up now. Let's see. Oh my god. So this is what it says in the service manual. To change that belt tensioner, you raise the front of the engine a couple inches. Because the stupid pulley is right into the frame. There's no hole in the frame. There's the bolt. Is this going up? I think it's going up. Ooh. It's kind of heavy. I think I should unplug the exhaust maybe before. I don't know if it's heavy. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to take out that one wire, and I think I'll have, unless there's any wires on the back of the engine, taking off that bar is a good idea. Get all that junk off. And plugged one more connector there. Thermostat housing, water temperature. I think I've got all the wires off. I only got that stupid one down there off. The 2 screwdrivers. Just me, or has this thing been apart before? I don't know. Maybe so. Oh, that looks kind of messy. Maybe somebody's been in here before. It looks like 2 layers of silicone there. I already bought a timing chain kit. The reason I'm changing this engine is it's making some clacking noises. And it's got almost 200,000, and it throws a check engine light about every 6 months saying catalytic converter inefficiency. So I just clear the code, put fuel injector cleaner in it, and it goes away for 6 months. But it runs excellent. But I think I'll just try to rebuild, fix the issue on this engine, keep it as a spare. I got a new engine for a really good deal, so I'm just going to swap the whole engine. So yeah, It looks like in theory you could take off this cover and service this thing. Just looking at all these bolts, it looks like these bolts are different than these bolts, but this may just be an inspection cover. You gotta take out the whole cover. I had that problem on the BQ on the Quest on the 04. I had to take the whole front cover off in the vehicle. That was fun. I should have probably pulled the motor. It was hard getting in there. The inspection covers have to come on and off, but you have to take the whole cover off just to change the tensioner. The tensioner didn't break, the guide broke, and so the tensioner was overextending. And so it was like 50 bucks for the part, and it took like 3 days to strip it all apart, and it was like below freezing in the garage with heaters on. And oh, today it's 95 degrees. What's it now? Oh, it's 88 now in here. Put the AC on. It was 95 earlier. Okay, so I think I'm just going to stop here. You can't really see it, but the next step is I used a 14mm long wrench, and I pulled the belt adjuster and popped the belt off. So there's the belt, that's off. Then I was able to remove the 13mm headed, it's like an 8mm bolt. That's the first 13mm header found. It's not a very popular size for Nissan. Then I decided to remove the headlight, since I already had the bumper off. There's 4 bolts and a connector. And I also removed this big monster piece of plastic because, turn this light on, I had a little trouble getting to the other alternator bolt right there. You can get to it from the top. I think I was able to get to it, but I realized it was easier to get to it with this plastic on it. Oh, seriously. When are they going to get rid of gravity? So I just need to take out that one bolt, which is pretty tight. And I can take the alternator off. And the next step is to remove the exhaust. So I started on that. I actually got off one of the bolts last night. It's a 14mm. And here's the trick with these bolts. I've never seen these on Nissans before. I've seen them on other brands. But basically, there's 2 of these, and you can't really use a regular socket because the heat shield's in the way. And I got one of them off with a ratchet wrench, flex ratchet wrench. But I can't really get enough leverage to get the other nut broke loose. So I actually soaked the, I'm going to take the heat shield off the cat, or pre-cat, to get a regular ratchet in there. Hopefully I can put a ratchet on this end. Bust this nut loose. Get the other one off. I need to take out that thing. I keep whacking myself on it. Yeah, took out this whole front end. It's actually nice because I can see what's going on. I don't think it's really necessary. But I've got all the wires off. I got that last connector off down here. So I've checked the back of the engine. And there's only one bolt on the back of the engine. No wires at all, no hoses. There's one bolt on a shield over the drive axle cover. Just need to remove one bolt and the 2 exhaust bolts, and that's it on the back of the engine. So that's pretty cool. But all this wiring, all this stuff can be pulled over there. Okay, I just looked in the service manual on how to remove this alternator because I can't get this bolt out. See, the bolt just hits the firewall. It's just oh, so there's a slot right here. I got the back bolt out. Oh, I see. So now the bolt is clear. Okay, so it's in that slot. So now the alternator should just come out again. I just had it out. Beat it back in with a hammer. Still got primer on the back of the alternator. Radiator, but that's okay. Okay, so the bolt still can't come out, but I see it's in that little slot. So now the problem is I got this back eye. So when I hit the alternator, I raise the engine. section. Get the water plate. Oh, it's off. It's just it's gotta rotate. The alternator has to rotate. There we go. There we go. Come on. I got it. Oh boy. Put the bolt back in. Whew. Now you can see on top. I already have the intake coming off. Oh my gosh, that was different. Okay, so the alternator is off. It's fine. Oh, in the service manual, just called it a generator still. Oh, you can see. It's only 2 bolts, but one back here. I know this one's slotted too. So you're gonna have to pull out a little bit. And you got to rotate basically got to slide the whole alternator forward. Saw a couple YouTube videos, people taking this off. But that's because they had the intake on and the radiator. I already have those off. For other reasons. There's something interesting about this motor mount. It's kind of different than the, only taking on a few front wheel drive engine cars. But like typically, Nissan front wheel drives have 4 motor mounts. One on the tranny side, one on either side of the engine, front and back, and then one on the left side. That's like my Quest had. But this Sentra only has 1 engine mount. That's it. This big, massive chunk of rubber. And then it has this one rod to keep it from twisting right and left. That's it. So really, it's kind of 1 motor mount, and I guess it's side to side. And obviously, there must be one on the tranny. I can't see it, but something's holding it up. Got a piece of chain holding the engine up right now. Okay, so here's the exhaust manifold gaskets. I just took out the 2 bolts to hold on that heat shield, and then the 1 bolt back here. And now I can get to the exhaust a lot better. Get that heat shield a little bit more out of the way. So I can move that top cover, so I can get that, so I can get a socket on that. It's the first Nissan where the bolts aren't angled straight down, so I think the trick is to get to it from farther back with an extension maybe. I'm going to try to put a ratchet up there, but I see I already got the bolt on the right. I just need to get the one on the left. So here's the other bolt I need to remove, not that one. This shield here that covers the CV joint, it bolts to the transmission, I think. Here's the engine, here's the transmission. But this heat shield also bolts. Let me get the camera in there. 1 bolt right here. So I'm gonna have to take that out. Other than that, it's the only thing I can see on the back of this engine. I don't see any wires or anything. So that is awesome. Here's that tensioner bolt. To raise the car higher. Oh geez, what are a light? Come on, lights. Need some steel. Everything's aluminum. There's your belt tensioner. It's just a lug on the tensioner. Just turn that. And you can whip your belt off. That was pretty easy. It's nice and clean for almost 200,000 miles. It's amazing. So I just took out this whole hose assembly. Just one 13mm headed bolt right there, and all that comes off. So now I just removed this shield. This is a heat shield that goes over the CV axle underneath the exhaust. If you don't remove that, it makes it really hard to get to the tranny bolts. Let me show you. So here's where the heat shield was. 1 bolt right here. think it was 16mm. And these two bolts here, they go into the transmission, one into the block. Took those out, it gives you a lot more room to the exhaust, which I already have. The nut off this side, the stud out of this side. I can't get that 7mm stud headed out, it's too tight. So I went ahead and broke all the bolts loose with an 18mm socket. And my breaker bar, they weren't too bad. Couldn't get them with my 3/8 ratchet. So now all the bolts are loose. So now I think I'm going to take out most of these with my 3/8 ratchet. Starting with that top one, so there's one up there, one right above the axle, one below the axle, two more down here, and just a bunch on the other side. Let's see if this works. I can get another extension, but this is more fun. Here we go. That's out. This thing's a little too big for that one. Okay, get the other one with that extension. So I think I'm almost ready to take out the torque converter bolts. Okay, I put a 19mm ratchet on the crank pulley, and taking out this panel actually came in handy, because now, as you can see, the torque converter nuts, I can turn that until I see. It's taking the bumper off, made this a one-person job. Okay, I got 4 nuts off. They're not torque converter bolts like typical. They're actually nuts. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let me move you a little closer. Can you see in there? I think so. Oh yeah, that's all of them. They're all off. There's only 4. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'm ready to lift the engine. So I got 4 nuts. They were 14mm heads. It's like a 10mm bolt. So usually, traditionally, torque converters are threaded female, and then the bolt, the male, it goes through the flex plate. This is the opposite. Interesting. Okay, I just removed the 2 13mm headed bolts. Looks like they're 8mm bolts, 13mm head, an AC compressor. You can see that in there. But it's off. Now here's the trick. I've got all the bolts out of the tranny, except for one, so it wants to fall off. I just ran a chain to the back of the tranny. I just realized there is 2 tranny mounts, not one. 1 engine mount, 2 tranny mounts. So I've got that chain going to the back, so when the engine comes off, the train won't fall. I really need a chain from this side as well, but don't see a good place to mount it yet, so worry about that later. So now to get the compressor off. Probably should take this water pump off, it'd be easier, but the other one already has it on, and I don't know, maybe I should take it off. Oh, it looks like there's a gasket in here though, because there's water lines. So maybe I shouldn't bother with it.